Everyone, this is the final week of Intro to Python, week 5, and this is your lead instructor, Lillian Glissy. So just as a review, what we did in week 4, so lists are the most basic type of data structure in Python, and each element of a list is assigned a number called an index, and the first element starts as being counted as 0, not 1. So today we'll be going over creating or defining your own functions in Python. Functions are a block of code that runs when called, and you can pass data, known as parameters, into a function. And a function can return data or parameters as a result. And arguments are also passed through function, and arguments are information that can be passed into functions. And they're specified after the function name inside parentheses. And you can add as many as you like as long as they're separated with a comma. So this is an example of an argument right here. This is the function, and these are the parameters of the function to print fname plus ref s-ness. Alright, so we're going to go into this week's notebook, and these are the challenges. So you can just also link some extra resources if you do want to read up more about Python and functions. You can just see it here. So this is the notebook for this week. As you can see over here, I linked some extra resources and articles if you did want to read up more about it. So we'll just go through these challenges over here. So exercise 1 is to create a function that adds all the numbers in a given list. So this is the list right here, linked below. And so in order to do this, you write it as def. So def is what you use when defining your own function. So def, then you write sum. Sum is what you could call your function. I'll do some numbers just so it doesn't conflict with the actual Python predetermined function name. So sum numbers is what you would do. So when calling it, that's what you would run. So sum in numbers, that's the parameters inside. And then you do a colon, and then you do a colon, and you would have an indent there. And so you'll start the total as 0. And so for here, we're going to do a for loop. So for x in numbers, total is equal to x, and then return total. So what this does is this just adds x to total, and you return it. And so it keeps going in and going in, so it keeps adding up all the numbers until you get it. So now if we wanted to run our function, we will do print sum numbers, and then if we were to have list1 as our argument, so here we just need to add another parentheses, print, and then it runs, and it gives us a sum of 29. Alright, so for the next one, it says exercise 2, write a Python function to check whether a number is in a given range. So the way you would do this is you write it out again, def. We'll call this one test range, and we'll have n as our parameter, and then a colon. And so we'll use a conditional statement in this instance. So let's just say if n is in range 3 to 9, colon, print n plus is in the range. I'll just add a space there. And I'll add an else statement, else print the number is outside given range. Oh, forgot parentheses right there. So let's do it here. just do test range and just call our function test range, and we'll try it with the number 5. We'll just change this to the number is in the range. Number is in range. Now, if we did a number like 10, then it will print it's outside the given range. All right, and now for our final one, write a Python program to print the even numbers from a given list. All right, so for this list, just call it list2, and we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oops, accidentally hit the wrong place. So we'll name this. So we add in def to define our function. Def is even num, and we'll have it as n. And so we'll add an even, so we'll make an empty list called, let's call it even, and just add an empty list so we can just append all the even numbers. And so we'll use a for loop and an if conditional in order to do this. So let's just say for n, or actually I'll change this to list, or I'll just change it to L for now, because what we'll put in as the argument will actually be a list, not an individual number. So let's just put for n in L, if n is divisible by 2, or if it's divisible by 2, or n divided by 2 equals 0, then you would append n into that list. And so the reason why we do this, because that's how you tell this is an even number, and by appending, that's how you're able to just get a new result without having to use, this will be the simplest way forward. And we would just do return even, just so it returns at the end of the function. So now if I run print is even num, list2, I didn't put an equal sign. Alright, so list2, and so it prints all the even numbers in a list. So that's it. Thank you for attending this class. It has truly been my pleasure teaching you all, and have a good